Mr. Norton had a press conference recently, and he told some very tall stories. He said that since the last elections, the People's National Congress has had 10,000 new members. Mr. Norton should be writing fiction. Um, he said that he is onboarded by the large number of people who have left the party, and he acknowledged that people will continue to leave the PNC, but he said that the members leaving would give him more breathing room. So clearly, the Congress Place was congested, and the mass exodus from the party that he's witnessed under his leadership is giving him more room to breathe. I think it was a rare acknowledgement of the truth that it's not more breathing room. It would allow him to conduct the divisive politics that he's accustomed to and that he's unwilling to move away from, that is using race as the lens through which he sees everything. So he then persisted with the lie that there is a bloated list and it would be a recipe for post-election problems. So the veiled threat that is so common in his lexicon and in his speeches, that again he's accustomed to, was repeated in his most recent public appearances, I should say. We have dealt with this issue a million times before. I think he's trying to preach this to the unsuspecting hardcore loyalists of the PNC who would believe this nonsense. And hopefully they will support him. He then says he's not bothered by, as I said before, he's not bothered by people leaving the party, but the reason they are leaving is, again, PPP bribing them because the PPP has a lot of money. Now, this is taking the fringe view that can come from the warped minds of some of the extremists and bringing it mainstream into the PNC. The view that people will only leave the PNC not because of his inept leadership, not because of their failure in government to fulfill their promises, not because of their lack of any vision or plan for the future, not because they are propagating a failed ideology of race, but because PPP is bribing them, as though former PNC members, and particularly Afro-Guyanese, don't have the capacity to make independent judgment. That is how disparaging a view he has of them. And this is something that is typical of the PNC. We own you regardless of what we have done. And we do. You have to vote for us, but we never take care of your concerns when we're in office. That is their motto. And let's don't harbor any doubt that this is not a French view. This is the view of the PNC. This is the view of the PNC. Now, he had, when you had, if I'm doing an analysis of the people who left, when you have some of your key activists, particularly women activists, who've held leadership position in the party, leave and accuse you as the reason for them leaving, and say that the party has no future whatsoever with a failed ideology, it is a huge problem. And he refuses to acknowledge that as a problem, and this is why they will be decimated at the next elections. It's clear as daylight that they can't win the elections alone or combined with Norton as the leader, with Nigel Hughes as the leader, or anyone else that they may want to put as the leader. They will not win the elections. And that is evident to any right-thinking person. If you travel across this country, you will hear that from people in their private conversations, and you would sense it yourself. And one way of assessing this is to look at the limited engagements that people have with them when they have the public meetings, etc. So when a party is so divorced from reality that it would say, for example, Elson Lowe saying that the budgets of 2023, 2024, and 2025 combined did not address poverty. And you come from a party that had been in office for 5 years, in which 35,000 people lost jobs as a result of your policies, and another maybe 35,000 when COVID hit. And this government has put all of those people back to work to a point where we have labor shortages in many sectors. If you look at the construction industry now in Guyana, it's practically in many ways dominated by Venezuelans. If you go to construction sites, because in many areas you can't find local labor. That is coming from a past when in 2020, when the APNU was in office. Now, if more people are working, it means more people are coming out of poverty. We have supported a large number, the 15,000 part-time workers. They were not working on the APNU. Now they are working across the country. The 3,000 Amerindians who are CSOs, they never had a job on the APNU, they have a job now. So if you're talking about poverty, the key way of getting out of poverty is not by giving handouts, by first of all, ensuring that people have a job. And by any standard, any metric, any assessment that is done today in 2025 compared to 2020 when we took office, will find that tens of thousands of Guyanese now are working, more are working, both in the public sector and in the private sector. That's an important factor. And it came about largely because we re-engineered immediately when we got into office the fiscal environment to stimulate investments. And because of this, we saw massive investments coming into the country and in every sector. And that is why you have so many people working today. So today, I don't want to do an extended press conference. I'm tempted to do short press conferences now and then come maybe twice a week so that I can respond to, as we get closer to elections from the party side, to respond to the numerous lies that are told during the course of the week. So I'm thinking about it seriously because many times the accusations are left hanging for a whole week. And as a party, I think we need to respond to those accusations. But on this matter here, I think it's very clear about the role that the PPP has played and the changes now, and that APNU and the others are basic. I don't want to say a spent force because it would be disparaging political parties, and we never underestimate the people we're contesting against. That is why the People's Progressive Party has been successful. We never underestimate. We work harder. We work every time as though we are behind, even though we know we're going to win the elections. And that's why we work hard to ensure that people understand our vision for the future, what our plans are, how their lives will change under us, and what we intend to do to support them and their families. Every day we do that. We go out on the ground. We don't do it going on the ground, talking to communities, is not a feature of the People's Progressive Party that was recently developed. We've held throughout our lives tens of thousands of bottom house meetings in the opposition just to explain our loss in the 2015 elections. I did more than 90 bottom house meetings to say, hold on a minute, we can complain about the loss, but or we can accept that we're out of office and now work to rebuild the party bottom up to win the next elections. We can take one of the two positions. And I opted for the latter position. And that's why we started rebuilding and debunking the lies that Apnu told. There are many, many lies. And then people saw us as representing their interests, people of every race. Our office was open to people of every class, every race at the leader of the opposition office.
So VP Jack Dale definitely had a lot to say. I want you to go to the comment section and share your comments with me. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. I appreciate every one of you.